episode of Wrestling with Siblings. I'm your host, Araceli, and this is my co-host, Armando.
Hi guys, I'm Armando, and welcome to Wrestling with Siblings. We'll be doing our predictions today for the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. How exciting.
So this will be going up a few hours before Money in the Bank. So, hey, keep up with us. Let us know in the comments below before the show starts what your predictions are and if you agree with us. Alright, let's get started with the first match of the night. And I'm not saying it in any particular order. We're just going based off what we got here. Okay, the Usos versus Bryan and Rowan for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship.
This one, just because Daniel Bryan and Rowan pretty much got the title a couple weeks ago, I don't see them losing, so I'm going to have to go with Eric Rowan and Daniel Bryan.
I 100% agree with you on this one, especially because the Usos are in a separate brand. They are on Raw now, and I don't see them winning the championship. And even if they did, what happens to them? Do they just move over? It's just a whole new different type of problem. So no, I feel like Bryan and Rowan are the team to take it home.
Yeah, and then don't get me wrong, the Usos by far are the better tag team, but it makes sense for Bryan and Rowan to retain. And at the end of the day, like you said, it's going to be they're going to just end up combining both brands. But we'll see later in the future.
Exactly, 100%. Alright, let's move on to probably one of the most expected matches of the entire night. The men's Money in the Bank. So, Ricochet, McIntyre, Baron Corbin, Finn Balor, Ali, Andrade, Sami Zayn, and Randy Orton. Now, the only reason why Sami Zayn is in this match is because on Raw, for those of you that didn't watch, he had a match against Braun Strowman. The winner of that match was going to go on to Money in the Bank. So Sami Zayn was able to defeat Braun Strowman, and therefore he pretty much earned his spot on this match.
On this match, it's a tough one. A lot of great competitors. But I'm going to stick with my gut feeling, and I'm going to go with Andrade. Just because he's been on a roll lately, and keep in mind, on his corner, he has Zelina Vega, which I'm pretty sure she is going to be crucial in tomorrow's match.
100%. Very, very crucial. I definitely see him winning it. I think it's time. He's the perfect competitor to win this. Imagine what he can do leading up to WrestleMania, leading up until his cash-in. This will probably be one of the greatest cash-ins you'll ever see.
Plus, he has the advantage, like I said, of Zelina. But if you actually analyze the match like me and you were analyzing a couple days ago, Baron Corbin, McIntyre, and Sami Zayn pretty much took out Braun Strowman.
Yes.
So don't be surprised if Braun Strowman comes out and decides to interfere in the match and probably possibly take out those three opponents.
So that alone takes out 3, right? And then you have Finn Balor, who 100% is not winning it because he's the Intercontinental Champion. So that's pretty much another given. That's already half of the competitors. Ali, maybe, potentially, he can win it. Ricochet is another one. Randy Orton, we all know he's not winning it. It's past his time. It's time for somebody new to take advantage of these opportunities. So that alone leaves you with 3 competitors. Andrade, Ali, and Ricochet.
And McIntyre, too.
And McIntyre, too. But McIntyre could also be taken out with Braun Strowman because, he did help Baron Corbin take out the monster.
So if you put it in that perspective, Andrade and Ricochet are the 2 potential winners, but I'm going to stick with Andrade.
I 100% agree with you on that one. Andrade is definitely, to me, the best fit. And you have to also keep in mind, he is at the advantage because he does have Zelina Vega. So for a fact she's going to have a plan up her sleeve. Alright, moving on to the women's Money in the Bank. This is a hard one for us, especially because our pick is no longer in the match. So Alexa Bliss was supposed to be a part of this match. She's no longer a part of it because unfortunately she is not cleared to compete. That was my pick. I'm pretty sure that was yours as well.
Yes, originally I had picked Alexa Bliss. Like I said, if you sit down and analyze this match again too, it was pretty much set for Alexa Bliss to win it.
Yes.
But now that the circumstances have changed, I'm going to have to go and pick the hometown hero, Bayley.
And let me let you guys know who the competitors are before we do get into that. Nikki Cross replacing Alexa Bliss. Naomi, Natalia, Dana Brooke, Bailey, Mandy Rose, Ember Moon, and Carmella. Of course, Carmella is out of the question. She's already won it 2 years ago, and she won it twice in a row because they had matches back to back. And as you did say, this match was set up pretty much for Alexa Bliss to win it. That was my pick. She's no longer in the match, so therefore I had to change my pick. I agree with Armando, with Bailey, but I also see Dana Brooke being able to take it home, especially ever since a little bit before WrestleMania. She kind of started getting that push. The crowd started to get behind her, and to me, she's proven if she wins the Money in the Bank, she's going to do great things for her, and this is a push towards her career.
That's a great pick. Another one that could potentially win it, and I think Dana Brooke could use this win in her career to take it another step forward.
Definitely.
But we'll see what happens.
And Bailey, I mean, she's pretty much been an underdog ever since being called up to the main roster, except for Mania 33 when she walked in as champion. So ever since then, she's really hasn't done much. So I think this is another great opportunity for Bailey. It's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out on Sunday, though.
Yeah, and especially since she debuted in SmackDown, she pretty much has been getting a huge push.
100% agree with you on that one. All right. Roman Reigns versus Elias.
This one's pretty much a given. I think Roman Reigns is going to end up with the victory just because Roman needs that huge victory in his first pay-per-view being a SmackDown superstar.
Definitely. 100% agree with you on that one. I mean, there's really not much to say. Roman Reigns wins this one, definitely takes it home. Okay, The Miz and Shane. This is another given, pretty much. The Miz, I see it as this being the end of this feud. Even though they can potentially prolong it and make it go on longer, I think this is the end. And I think in order for Shane and Miz both to be able to move on and do other things, this has to end here.
And not only that, but I also see Elias interfering. So if Elias interferes during the Miz match, then that means Roman Reigns is going to pretty much come out and help out the Miz, and vice versa. We've been seeing these past couple of weeks that they've been on the same page, Roman Reigns and Miz, and they pretty much have one thing in common, and that's going up against Shane McMahon and Elias.
Exactly. So is The Miz your pick, or are you going with Shane McMahon?
I'm going to go with The Miz on this one.
Definitely. I don't see it any other way, unfortunately. Okay. Mysterio versus Joe for the U.S. Championship.
This is a tough opponent for Rey Mysterio. He's already beating him, but he hasn't beat him in that big one, so I think this is going to be the one for Mysterio.
100%. Rey Mysterio has to win it, especially after that loss that he took at WrestleMania. It was like 15 seconds long. I think this is the opportunity for him to redeem himself, and it's long overdue. I mean, he came back, in January for the Rumble, and I think now is the opportunity for him to finally go into the U.S. title picture and then be able to move on from there.
And not only that, but he's got extra motivation. He wants to prove himself that he could be Samoa Joe. And not only that, but his son Dominic.
Yes.
And don't be surprised if his son Dominic ends up getting involved during the match.
I could potentially see that happening, especially after Joe targeted Dominic on SmackDown, last week or 2 weeks ago, and we got to see Rey Mysterio be really upset about it. I think Joe really crossed the line there, and I feel like this is the time. Mysterio's no way is going to let him win, and again, like you said, Dominic could potentially interfere in this match. Okay, moving on to Kofi Kingston versus Kevin Owens. This is another complicated one, simply because it could go both ways.
Yeah, but I'm going to go with Kofi Kingston. I think it's too soon for him to lose his title. He still pretty much has the crowd behind him.
100% agree with him on that one. My pick is also Kofi Kingston. As he said, it is way too soon for him to lose the championship. I think there's way more for him to do, especially now that Big E is gone. I mean, he's only, 2/3 of the New Day are out, and they really got to prove themselves. They really got to redeem themselves. But I also feel like you waited 11 years for this moment to happen, to have it taken away in a month. So Kofi Kingston is my pick.
But Kofi has to be on the lookout for Kevin Owens, just because he's super smart, always has something up his sleeve, and as we've been seeing, he's pretty much been getting back with his old best friend, Sami Zayn.
Yeah, we got to see that this week on SmackDown, which was very weird because that's not something you expected, especially after the rivalry these two men had. Kevin Owens very very dangerous though, and I don't know. This is his return. He can potentially take it home, but I don't think so. I think it's all Kofi on this one.
Yep, I have to agree with you on that one.
Okay, the last three matches are very very crucial to the future of the WWE and the future of each brand. Becky, 2 belts, Becky Lynch versus Lacey Evans for the Raw Women's Championship. And we agree on this one as well.
This one, even though Lacey Evans could potentially have probably the greatest match of her life, I see Becky Lynch retaining.
I definitely do see Becky retaining on this one, not only because she just won the championship, but it's because Lacey Evans, she's too new, and she's getting a high-caliber match. Yes, she's going to prove herself. But if you really think about it, Lacey Evans has nothing to lose. If Lacey Evans loses and she has a killer match with Becky Lynch, she just literally proved herself to everybody. She's making a name for herself.
Her career pretty much takes off from that, and I like the way they're taking Lacey Evans slowly. So if she does lose tomorrow night at Money in the Bank,
she has nothing to lose, pretty much. On the other hand, if Becky Lynch loses, she loses the championship. So the stakes are very, very high in this match, but Becky Lynch definitely taking it home. I think it's too soon to give Lacey Evans a championship. I feel like that could potentially ruin her at this point in her career because she's too new. You can't just throw her out there and be like, here's the championship, go on with it, you know?
But it's going to be very interesting which match opens up the show, whether it's the women's Money in the Bank or if it's going to be this match, Becky versus Lacey Evans.
Lacey Evans, yes. All right, moving on to Seth Rollins versus AJ Styles for the Universal Championship.
And potentially the match of the night, if not the match of the year. This is a very, very tough one. If you analyze both of these superstars, they're both very similar. Styles in the ring, they're both high flyers. They both love a great competition. But I'm going to have to stick with Seth Rollins on this one.
Seth Rollins, same. I think you didn't just slay the beast. You didn't go through everything you went through to get to this point just to lose it. I feel there's more opportunities for AJ Styles. Plus, he just lost the championship, the WWE Championship, a couple months ago. I think it's okay to see him out of the title picture for now. I don't think it's the proper opportunity and the proper time for him to win the Universal Championship. There's other chances for that. And as he did say, similar wrestling styles, match of the year for sure. I can guarantee that. It's going to definitely steal the show.
The only difference I see in this match is AJ Styles' experience. He's pretty much traveled all around the world. He's faced the best of the best in the world. That's the only difference that I see. But Seth Rollins has a lot of heart, and he's had a huge 2018. And what better way to top it off than by beating the phenomenal AJ Styles?
And these two men are considered pretty much the best wrestlers of their entire generation. So he's definitely going up against one of the best wrestlers in the WWE, if not the world. And he has a challenge. Seth Rollins also has a challenge with AJ Styles. But I think in the end, he's going to come out victorious and retain the Universal Championship.
And me personally, I know Seth Rollins has had a lot of high caliber matches, but I think this is probably the biggest match of his career, just because of what's at stake for him and who he's facing.
Yeah, definitely. And see, here's the thing. I don't want to say this is a match that's going to make him or break him, because he's already proven himself regardless. I just feel like the type of match that he has with AJ, it's going to really determine the type of athlete that he has. Because if he has one of the greatest matches, it's determined. He's probably the greatest wrestler in the world as of right now, aside from AJ Styles. And, this can be one of those matches that can go really well or really, really bad. Because remember, AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura was a match everybody thought it was a dream match that was going to steal the show. It was going to be completely amazing, and at the end of the day, it didn't live up to people's expectations. And I feel like this match could go either way. However, I'm expecting it to go really, really well.
Yeah, and if it goes well, don't be surprised if we see this match for 2 or 3 more pay-per-views, because that's usually what tends to happen. But I don't mind if they're good quality matches. If the matches start getting a little bit kind of like boring, or they're not up
Yeah.
there anymore, then I wouldn't bother having the matches again, even though they're pretty much moneymaker matches.
Exactly. But knowing the two competitors, it's going to be a show stealer for sure. All right, moving on to the final match that's on our list. Becky, 2 belts, Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair. Okay, one thing we want to make clear, and this is something, I guess you can call it a spoiler, because this is going up right before Money in the Bank. Armando and I both agree this is the match that ends in a no contest, or it ends in a cash-in, for sure. The Money in the Bank winner is cashing in this night on this match.
Yeah. The reason why we say that is just because Becky and Charlotte both have had a huge history for these past couple of years where Charlotte hasn't been able to defeat Becky Lynch, and I don't think it's the right time for Charlotte to beat her. If she's going to beat her, it's going to be when, like in a huge pay-per-view, SummerSlam or whatever, and she's going to do it when she becomes a 9-time woman champion.
Exactly, and it has to be huge in order for her to get 9. We do know her 8th was kind of just like, oh, okay, it's right before WrestleMania. It didn't really mean much, but the 9th is for sure going to mean something. I think the winner of the Money in the Bank is cashing in on here. And do you really think at this point Becky is really going to hold a 5-0 streak against Charlotte? I don't think so. At this point, I think they're really pushing it, and they have to find some way for that not to happen. And it's either going to be an interference or it's going to be a Money in the Bank cash-in. And I have a feeling it's going to be a cash-in.
There will be definitely a cash-in, but I also believe that both of them are going to happen. We're going to have interference by some superstar. We could potentially think Sasha, maybe Ronda, who knows?
Exactly.
Maybe somebody that just got signed, we don't know yet, but I have a feeling someone's going to interfere in this match and potentially lead to the Money in the Bank cash-in.
Yes, and we strongly feel this is the match Becky loses. Because she can lose to Charlotte, but she'll still be the champion on Raw, and that sets her up for her own brand. She would be pretty much the only 4 horsewomen that's over there. But also keep in mind, if you want to keep all 4 of them on the same brand, even though Sasha isn't here right now, then that's where it becomes tricky.
But we also talked about it. You have the wild card rule.
Exactly.
And as of right now, no woman has been part of the wild card rule. So we could potentially see that happening down the road. But it's just, like I said, we're just throwing out ideas.
Yes, exactly. And Becky Lynch doesn't count in the wild card rule because she is double champ. So if she does show up on SmackDown, and if she does show up on Raw, she doesn't count. She's a double champ. But in case there is no cash-in and there is no interference, our pick is Charlotte Flair to take it home.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it's only right. There's no other way this can end. I'm certain, and I don't want to speak for him because I don't know, but I am certain Becky loses one title in this pay-per-view.
Yeah, I don't see her retaining both titles. She has to lose one. And if she ends up retaining both titles, then good for Becky. And if she ends up winning and being the Raw Women's Champion at the end of the night, and if she ends up losing, it works out for her career because she could be the top woman in the Raw brand, which is, I feel, what she needs in her career.
And also keep in mind, nothing against any of the other women, but there's no top star, somebody who can actually carry the Raw Women's division on Raw right now. You had Alexa, but yeah, she's not wrestling right now, so she can't really carry the woman. You have Natty, okay, but she's a pioneer. She's there to put over new talent. And Becky Lynch, I feel like, is that household name that you need now that Ronda is gone to keep your women's division relevant.
And the time for Becky is now if she wants to be the leader of the women's locker room in the Raw division. That's if she ends up losing the SmackDown and retaining the Raw one.
100% agree with you on that one. Alright, that's all we have for you guys on our predictions for Money in the Bank. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Tweet us, Instagram us, whatever you want. We will always respond to you guys. Become a sibling today. Let everybody know. And for those of you that do not know what WWS stands for, Armando, what does WWS stand for?
Wrestling with Siblings. Stay tuned for tomorrow's Money in the Bank pay-per-view reviews. As soon as it's done, we'll pretty much be try to upload as soon as possible.
Yes, it'll more than likely go up Monday morning, but we will definitely get it up for you guys. So thank you guys for joining us. Let us know in the comments below what you guys think.
Yeah, what your predictions are and who do you think is going to win. So let us know, and we'll see you guys soon.